Hello, namaskar, good morning. It is Tuesday, the 26th of April, 2022. It's around 9:50 a.m. now. It's raining. The weather you can see in the background there. It's raining. So I'm doing a little musing, thinking. I'm trying to translate it into language. You know, I read somewhere in a book once that people in the West Europe, they've developed a lot by fighting against many psychological issues, physical issues, social issues, political issues. By fighting and rallying against, they've developed certain mental capacity, mental qualities, you know. So maybe in this vein I can comment. I'd like to comment and talk about society, you know, especially as it relates to my place around here. Now, where I'm living is in Sun Road, and there was not so much people, neighbors around here, right? But when we came to live here, it was an ancestral home. My father bought this place. The area around here, Sun Road, it was owned by Mr. Ramkaran. The old Ramkaran, he was a stalwart PPP, and this entire area, it was owned by him. He offered it to my grandfather many years ago, many moons ago, for $15,000, this entire area here. But my grandfather, he was known in this area. He refused it. He said that's too much money, got money to pay to buy that. And today the land have lot out and they are worth millions of dollars for one property. If you want to buy a land here now, it's anything like $10 million, $15 million or so. So I'm gonna talk. When we came to live here around 1985, 86, 88, somewhere around then. When we came, a lot of people from on the privileged area start to squat on the train line, right down on the line. Then later on, they moved them and put them in around Sophia area, give them money to start up, and so eventually we end up with these people at the back there in Sophia, and people and start to follow similar traits in other villages, going around empty lots around the country, like industry, around Kitty, different places they're going to live, taking up lands there, and eventually the government give them the land, develop the land, and so, like in Turkine. But the problem is, what I'm finding is that the people living in those areas, they're not not many of them are educated, unless they marry into that area. They go there, they sell. I know a few people who sell big properties, get millions of dollars, and they go and live in a poor home there. But the news that is coming out of those areas are not very feasible, you know. Like when I was working at the industry there at the pharmacy, LK Pharmacy, there was a story of one taxi driver being stabbed when he tried to stop a robbery in the neighborhood. There's so much shooting and robbery and violence. One day I went to the station there, I saw an Indian man. He said somebody cuffed him with a ring, a strong ring he had on his hand, his finger, metal ring, punched his face, his blood. So now those stories there that the people are displaying various sort of gross physicality, you know. I don't know if there's what you can call vital behaviors, but I don't know, but they're kind of different. You don't find similar people in Prashanagar or Kitty or Lamaha Gardens or Bellier Spring, these places, you know, Bellier Park and so, you know. But these areas there, they kind of feel that I found some people there living that they feel that they're equal to anybody else anywhere. And the government also, I notice, are putting them up, developing them, giving them schooling, housing, and they get into big position and places in society. But the thing is, when these people start to hold positions, they start to get offices, and they meet people from privileged area or middle class, upper class people, they kind of becoming not helpful, you know. They kind of feel that these people have something over them, and these people have an advantage or some historical you know, advantage over them, you know, and they want to repay this by, you know, in many ways when they meet them, you know, and clashes of this sort happens everywhere you go on the street. These people who come out from underprivileged area, depressed areas, they get into fights, they try to mix and commingle with the regular class of people, and there are fights. They go into social places, pubs. You can't keep them to themselves. They are sharing the modern facilities everywhere. The restaurants, the shops, the business, the ATM, the banks, and you have to meet them there, right? But sometimes your behavior is very bad, you know. Sometimes I find some of them literally pouring out from those areas around where you're living here, like in San Road, Sophia, and their behavior and talks and mannerism is perverted, you know, like sexuality, sexual perverts, you know. Talk about things like anal sex and all kind of things they're bringing around to people here. I mean, if you come from a family or if you have kids, I wouldn't like to have kids and my kids being exposed to these kind of people, you know. They're, you know, these kind of not very decent, not very encouraging, you know. I mean, if you read the history of many people or many nations in the world, they've had great legacies, great leaders like